Yes, hello everyone. Good evening. Okay, then I suggest we finish on these videos. How are you doing, guys, today? What's your mood? How was your week? Alexey, hello. How are you doing? Hello, Igor. I'm doing just fine. Pretty good. I would ask moderators to activate the chat so that we could get some feedback from our participants. Yes, please share your feedback with us, whether you can hear and see us well. Hello, everyone. I see a lot of fire signs. Number 10s. Very good. Number 10. Hello, we've been missing you. Yes, we missed you too because we didn't have AMA session last week and we have quite some pieces of news to share with you. A lot of tasty bits to share. Yes. Today, we shall tell you a lot of fun things. So make yourself comfortable. We'll discuss everything, tell you everything, and at the end, we'll even take a few questions. We'll see whether we have time for that. We'll see how much time we have for how many questions. Okay, now, shall we start? I see the feedback works. Yeah, people are writing that we're on the verge of a huge brouhaha. We entered that edge, what, a year ago? Yeah, there are there are many more reasons to have this brouhaha now. We become stronger and we can see it, people can see it during negotiations when we communicate, tell our story, people realize that we have something behind our belt, something serious is behind the screen of this company. They understand that the whole ecosystem is in place. They understand the meaning behind this, and it makes us happy. Yes, of course, there are things which are still work in progress, but generally speaking, the vector that we chose, what we did in the past year and a half, is a lot of work, and it's stupendous work done by our whole team. And we'll tell you a couple of things today, make a few announcements for you to fully understand why we do this, for what reason. So let's skip to the main thing. We'll leave some taster bits until the end, so stay with us until the very end, and I'm sure you will learn something valuable tonight. Aijan is writing to me. The baby is growing. Sure it does, Aijan. It's no longer a baby. It's becoming a toddler. Mikhail is writing to us. I can recommend, there is one comment and then we'll start with the news. Mikhail is writing that I can recommend a very good uh, solution for better beard. Okay, thank you. Looking forward to your recommendations. Victor is writing, we have a bearded baby. Yes. Uh, you can learn a few things from me because I have quite heavy beard if I grow it. Okay, I have a couple of pieces of news in the beginning, then we'll leave some more news until the end, and then tell you more in between these two news announcements because many things are happening and a lot of people are expecting some news updates, interesting things. So I suggest we start with one important announcement that many people were waiting so hard for. We did our best to make sure that happens to the best of our expectations. We have a marketplace, Dex Store. This is the platform where you can buy some merchandise from the company and products. And most importantly, what people are waiting for is the use of DNC that they generated by playing Hurricane Tap. They spent so many efforts and it was really difficult. Some people did really exert too much effort to make millions of DNC. What can we say? We have prepared everything for you to use your DNCs in the format that we originally overviewed a few months ago. We were preparing this functionality for you. And after tonight's broadcast, we're going to officially launch that platform. At the end, we'll share a link to that store. And right after this broadcast, you'll be able to enter our uh, merchandise platform. Most importantly, look at the prices, look at what is the conversion rate of DNC vis-a-vis different products or merchandise. Everything can be found there. When you choose it, when you put it in the um, cart, in a shopping cart, you'll be able to see all the prices and conversion rates there. The time has come, and now we can finally announce that the Dex store is ready. And after tonight's broadcast or briefing, we'll tell you how to use your DNCs. It's a unique proposal indeed, because we keep saying that people spend so much effort to tap these DNCs. There was a game where people had to enter it and tap at it regularly and get these points, gaming points for that, like DNCs. And now these points can be exchanged for real products that cost money. They cost real money for us, and we invested our budget into it. It's for you to exchange your DNCs for. Yes, you'll be able to use DNCs to buy services. On that platform, you'll see what products are available for DNC sales. You can use your DNC, connect your DNCs to that shopping cart, and there will be instructions how to do that. I see people showing their mood in the chat. So Alexey, let's start with the most interesting stuff. We have prepared other piece of news for you. I'm sure it should elate a lot of people and will add, a cherry on top after that. Without further ado, before moving to the next piece of news, I would like to tell more about the first piece of news first. There are some questions about the delivery of the merchandise, questions about the services, you mentioned it before. Now about the merchandise. First thing, what can be bought at the marketplace? First thing, you can exchange DNCs to token DexNet, but I can tell you right away, the exchange rate is not that great. I mean, if you tapped 1 billion DNC coins, you become a millionaire overnight or something, or at least like $1,000. No, the exchange rate is not that generous, but still, we have this function. You can exchange DNCs to services as well, and there are some services with high margin and low margin. So the cost of services in DNC will be different. The most profitable things that you can buy for DNCs are crypto cards. They're highly recommended. DexPN as well, or merchandise. But as far as merchandise is concerned, an important caveat for you to understand, the delivery is organized by self pickup from Dubai office. Let's say if you want to buy this merchandise and you realize that you'll be coming to Dubai at some of the event, or one of your friends will be coming to Dubai, we'll be able to pick it up. Why we decided to do it like this and not by direct delivery? To organize direct delivery of the merchandise, we need to certify all our merchandise, and then the price of merchandise will be part of the price. Secondly, you'll have to clean customs in each country. The customs clearance will also mark up the price, and eventually would come to a situation that merchandise is not such a mass product as, say, Zara t-shirts or something else that can be delivered by containers and then customs cleared, and the customs clearance and the delivery price and the certification can be diluted in the price of one unit of the product, because we're not going to sell this merchandise in tens of thousands of units. Then all the above mentioned activities would mark up its price considerably. That's why we want to make it more affordable for you. If you find merchandise really important, you might think about alternative ways of delivering it from Dubai. Whenever you come to Dubai in person or somebody else comes to Dubai, we have a small warehouse where it's going to be stored. It's not going to be eaten by moth, I can promise you that. Now, a second piece of tasty news. We're starting with the trump cards here, right? Yes, why not? By the end of today's call, we'll have other tasty bits of information to share. But we'll reveal this finally. Yes? Yes. Okay, the next important piece of news, as you know, we have launched a 13th block. It's coming to an end. We have a few more days left before the 14th block will start. In the 13th block, I remind you, 40% of all the revenues received from the sales of services will be distributed among users. We've started it and we've been living like that for almost 1 month. And all DexNode holders are getting their cut from the revenues. There are advantages and disadvantages of this approach. Let's start with the advantages. Then I'll talk about disadvantages and then another advantage. Those people who received DexNodes before and in tokenomics, they participated in airdrops, they collected quite a number of DexNet tokens, and they're quite happy with that if they haven't sold them. If they sold them, they might also be happy, but only at the price point that they're offered at the moment. But still, those people did not participate in the promo where for each newly bought promo, additional 100 tokens were credited to your account every day. And these people are getting more tokens than those people who were getting them in the past few months. If I'm not mistaken, they're getting something like 20, 30, 15 to 30 tokens per day, plus or minus. That's how much people get for the redistribution of 40% among about more than 5,000 DEX nodes online. And gradually, this indicator is improving and growing. And hopefully with your support, additionally with the traditional marketing, classical, conventional strategies of promotion of our services, this indicator will improve. But at the same time, tech support keeps receiving some applications that people want to sell. Now it's hard to sell because it's hard to sell this. And this is the disadvantage that I would like to talk about now. I would ask our community not to focus your future clients on the fact that when you buy the device now and will earn you money, but instead try to describe a bigger story for them. I had a number of discussions in Latin America where totally disconnected people, not related in any way to our business or DexNet, we had a totally different meeting there and we're asking each other what we're doing. I told them what I'm doing. I see people have really eyes widely open. They were asking about DexNode. I showed them the webpage. This is called DexNet. Well, come on, somebody offered me this, but they told me that buy this device and will earn you money every day. I thought it sounded too strange or doubtful. I didn't want to go there. And that was a good indicator for me that the devices are sold at the level at which the seller understands how it works. And sometimes the seller himself doesn't fully understand what this device is for, and they sell it at their level of understanding. And sometimes it can work to our disadvantage, because when a person is approached with this kind of offer, buy the device, it will generate money every day, they instead had a lot of doubts about this. Only after discussing this, and I told that person what we're doing and what our company is doing, only after that, that person had all the pieces of the puzzle put together in his head. If you talk about the future and what stands behind this, then the person doesn't have too many questions whether it can generate many tokens or not enough. First thing, the person understands that the token is grossly undervalued at the moment. Secondly, the person understands that the huge work has already been done. The whole foundation has been built, which will end up in a great result sooner or later. And the person understands this because I'm sharing with that person what I live with. And I live with DexNet. I go to bed with that. I wake up with that. I spend my nights and days with that. Sometimes we have unexpected ad hoc meetings with Igor at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. It might be daytime in where Igor lives or other way around. So this is what we live with. For us, it's not just let's launch a project and generate some tokens for people. No, it's not a plaything for us. What we're building here is grossly undervalued even by our community. No sheik would endorse a company which is not there for long term. A sheik already has a lot of companies under his endorsement, and only with one of them he is communicating personally, not his advisors or assistants, but he personally comes to our office, meets Igor, me. We drink tea together, discuss the future prospects of DexNet, because that person is fully immersed in this business and he understands where we're going. Because when in Latin America, I heard not from one person, but from two totally unfamiliar uh, people who didn't know each other when we are talking about what we're doing here, how they were offered the DexNode, I felt uncomfortable because I think that our community misunderstands the value of this product and it makes me sad. But still, we are moving forward, we're developing, and we realize that for people, it's hard to sell Dex notes without fully understanding what's happening with them. And it's not just some kind of criticism or don't take it as a blame from my side. No, it means that I'm doing something wrong. Maybe Igor is doing something wrong. Maybe we are doing a poor job delivering this information or message to you. Perhaps we don't deliver this message to you like thinking it's self-evident already. But it turns out that what might sound self-evident to me or Igor might not be so for our community. That's why we're going to try to deliver this message in a more thorough maybe way, or maybe time will put everything in its place. And with some time, it will become self-evident to all the people how big it's going to grow. I'm confident 1,000% when Steve Jobs with Steven Wozniak were putting together the first Macintosh computers in their garage, and they had a hairy program developer who was soldering the power blocks. They understood what they were doing, but the whole world couldn't understand what they were doing. But at the same time, yeah, I don't need to explain to you what Apple company is all about. You don't need to prove anything. It's self-evident now. Apple, okay, of course. And the same is true about many companies. So our company is living through a stage when even our community, the people who are closely associated with the company DexNet, don't fully realize what is going on with the company. And we are forced to live in a reality like this. And we need to do maximum what we can do, even more than that, to make sure that our community feels better, more comfortable. And what kind of applications do we receive from tech support? Like they were saying it was a great promo with tokens. Let's think of some other promo. We receive feedback from our leaders, from CEO and the management of distributors companies. Like people want to have another promo or something. The number of tokens at the current price point doesn't really motivate them to buy a device. On the one hand, I understand why it doesn't motivate people, because people don't fully realize what's going on with the company, where we are going. And this underappreciation is like buying two pizzas at 25,000 Bitcoins in the beginning. But still, I realize that we have reached a stage when two pizzas are bought at 10,000 Bitcoins. And no matter how much we do the dancing, fun and games, trying to explain to people, come on, this is Bitcoin in 10 years time. Can't imagine what will happen to that. People want to get it now. They want their two pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoins. That's why we've been discussing with Igor how to do it, to make sure that we'll have a promo and at the same time not to hook people on this habit of misunderstanding that so much token is credited now that you can sell part of it today. Others, the other part is to be staked. I read a lot of comments where people are saying that they are staking everything. In the past 2 years, I haven't sold a single DexNet token. I haven't sold a single DexNet token. Same here, says Igor. Same here, says Igor. in our top management team, some managers also are holding some DexNet token assets. They haven't sold a single token because everybody who is the closest to the technology and the management of the development, they understand where we're going. And to sell tokens at 3 cents is similar like throwing it away. It doesn't make any sense. But I understand there can be different situations, so don't take it as a financial advice like hold your tokens, don't sell. It's your asset, it's your decision. If you sell it, then the market will buy it cheap, and those people who want to hold it will become wealthy. Those people who don't want to hold it, they won't become wealthy. That's how all businesses are made. So if you want to sell it, it's okay. If you decide not to sell, it's again, the choice is yours. So we are launching the promo, but we'll be launching it in a different format. As of today, until August 31st, so until September 1st, but the cutoff period is August 31st. For all newly bought DEX nodes, additional to tokenomics and airdrops, additional to the reward pool, where 40% of all the service revenues are distributed among users, will credit additionally 50 tokens per day. Based on all the enumerated pools, it would be like 80 tokens per day, 80 tokens per day with a constant small growth. Or if you become part of the promotion team to promote services, then users will get these tokens every day. With time, at least that's our internal goal with Igor, is to upgrade our services to the level when we'll be able to do a technical school for you, when we'll show you one service after another through DexID, through partnership programs, through distributor companies. So to make you understand that there are not only DEX nodes that can be sold, that there are also services that will start affecting the revenues that your DEX nodes generate. Please give me a feedback. Do you find this promo inspiring for you? 1 to 10. And 1 to 10 again, can you rate whether this promo will help you disseminate more DEX nodes among your community in this world which is going down the drain? I see a lot of tens. I see even see hundreds. Very good. Super cool and very powerful. What can I add here? I can say that, in fact, our common goal here is to upgrade the services to the level of comfort and full transparency how many tokens will be generated on the monthly or daily basis. Because here we can find the most important message since the launch, and everybody knows that there was very good news. We launched tokenomics. It has been a year since it has been launched. I congratulate everybody with that, actually. It's a serious achievement for all of us and for everybody who owns DEX nodes. It's been a year since we launched tokenomics and everybody's happy. It's important to realize that this promo until the 31st of August, just like slide says, until August 31st, inclusive, until the end of August 31st. Why? To make sure that you pump up your communities and realize that in this 3 months, our task is to disseminate our services and to showcase them to the world that they exist, that we can scale them up. So this is the piece of news that we have to share with you. I see from your feedback that you find it useful and you like it. And we start receiving questions already. I'm sorry, I interrupted you, Igor. I just saw the last question. It's a 90-day marathon, right? Yeah, let's start running. It's going to be hot for sure. Guys, a few answers to your questions. Yes, it's a 90-day marathon, 90 days plus 3 days, right? How many days left in May? Now it's just a warm up in the 3 coming days, and then we'll have a 90-day marathon. Now, a few explanations. 50 tokens per day. Yes, we focus on that. Our team lead, Victor, wanted us to focus on that. Yes, plus 50 tokens per day. Next. For how long these 50 tokens per day are going to be credited? Within 60 days, within 6 months since the purchase of the DexNode. So this promo is active for next 3 months. It means that if you buy the note within this window, if you buy your DexNode, say on August 31st, the promo to sell notes with this promo ends, but still you will get 50 tokens per day with that bought DexNode for the next 6 months. Another important thing. How do I put it nicely? So that those people who have brain in their head would hear us, and those people who don't have a brain, I'm sure we don't have people like that, would make the right conclusion, or rather would not misunderstand us. I will explain. We put in our algorithm the changes of how tokens are credited, with a maximum conditions is 50 tokens per day, but this amount can go down depending on the certain scale. What does it depend on? It depends on the changes of the exchange rate of token DexNet on the market. How does this scale work? The price of DEX token under 5 cents is 50 tokens per day. As soon as it is revalued at a higher place at 10 cents, it's 30 tokens per day. As soon as we go over 10 to 15 tokens per day, it goes down to 50 tokens per day and so on. So we have developed this table and we'll post it in both my and your Telegram channel and the official Telegram channel. Those people who have the brain understand why we're doing this, what it is linked to, and why we're doing it now. Why before the 100 tokens, for a 100 token promo, we didn't develop such a table because we were not working on the token. It was just lived its own life. Now we are preparing this table specifically. So it's just a hint to what can happen to the value of the token in future. And that table will work until 100 cents. So when token is valued at $1, then people will get only 6 tokens per day. But still, the reward pool will not change and the tokenomics is not going to change. Please provide some feedback, those people who understand what I implied by this message, if you can read between the lines, and whether you like it or not. Super. Thank you. I see people are quick learners. So a lot of people who read between the lines. Some even write in caps locks. Yes, I try to. I don't want you to take it as a financial advice, of course. Yes, everybody will understand to the level of their knowledge and understanding or crypto cognizance. I guess it's a super promo. And the fact that for the next 6 months, doesn't matter whether you buy DexNode today or on the last day of August, still for the next 6 months, that DexNode will generate up to 50 tokens per day. And you will see how it works, at what price point the number of tokens credited to your account will depend. You don't have to be a math expert to understand this, that when the value of token is going to grow, the number of tokens credited to your account will go down. But it's already super cool. And what can be expected in the next period of time? is what many people have been waiting for. Again, I'm not going to jump ahead of myself, but a lot of work is done. And what Alexey said in the beginning, that those people who understand how big a work is related to that, especially when we're talking about tokens and payments on the market, we're doing colossal work here to make it work, to make it stable, to make it growing. And I can tell you one thing, the fact that we are at this price point is already an achievement for us. Some people can say that there was a threshold at the moment, higher point in the past, based on the market situation and based on what has happened to other tokens before. We hold our position very well. We have achieved very significant goal when in 1 year's time we managed to achieve where we stand now. It's super cool. That is why try to catch this wave and then everything will be good in your life. Don't forget your surfer board. Again, that's a message between the lines for you. I guess it's more or less clear for all. I don't see that many questions here. That is why I guess that it's quite self-evident. Let's move over to the other thing. I will remind you again at the end about this, but let's move on because time is running. Time is precious for all of us. Let's move to the other important thing. Again, based on what you know, it is related to blockchain. Here, I'll be talking more, but what important thing you need to realize what is being done here. Every day, I would say even not 8, but 12, 14, 16 hours, our team related to blockchain is doing their hard work. And it's not because, how do I put it, they're forced to do so. They are totally motivated to do what is expected from them because what we do here is unique. And I'm being reconvinced in that every time I meet, even today we had a meeting. I've never thought that such people can enter our office in person. Many people try to arrange a meeting with us from back doors or something. And that person just came in, he was listening, trying to understand. That person is very technically versed person. He was launching his own technological projects that reached billions of turnover. And he told us that what you're doing here, we see that you have a solid base. You have done a lot of work to make it a success. And that motivates us. And we realize that some people might think that you can do the same overnight. No, it's impossible. But even what we have achieved since the launch of the company, it's already quite commendable and people appreciate it. Now about blockchain, what is happening there? And let's gradually move to some other pieces of news. You all might know that we organized an event on Token 2049, another event in Brazil. Also, there were side events in Dubai. After that, there were some other seminars where I participated. I was interviewed there, on and on. You will start seeing me in internet, some different podcasts, and it's going to be part of the market news. Gradually, the company gets more visibility, and then it will turn into a real snowball effect, and all the resources will talk about us. And we're preparing for that. I'm not just telling you this. I never try to motivate somebody with false motivation. I just understand what kind of hard work stands behind this and what work is done behind the scenes. I understand that at a certain moment in time it should deliver some results. Otherwise, what we're doing it for. And even understanding what we have done already, we have experienced how to do it again and how to achieve greater success. That's where we are moving. In terms of blockchain, everything is sticking to the plan. We're sticking to the plan. We have another thing related to the consensus, to the development, and so on. Once again, I guess Alexey repeated it many times, and I said it also, that we have entered a pathway without anybody there. We are entering Web full zone, and everybody is asking these questions, influencers and exchange crypto experts. First question they ask, what is Web full zero? What are you talking about? We keep telling them the truth. Even today, there were two partners. At the end, they said, what kind of Web full? The second friend is just laughing, like maybe Web 5, you're being too modest. But then when I explained to him why we call it Web 4, when I explain it to him, he says, well, it stands to logic. Yes, you can justifiably call it Web 4. I'm telling them one simple thing. We made a step toward Web 4 zone, but it's empty. It's like a desert. No competition there. And we start building things from scratch there. New roads, new fences, new houses, the whole infrastructure, the whole city. That's where we are now. That's where we stand. We start building what nobody, the area, totally vacant area that nobody tried to build on before. And we're starting to launch products that nobody launched in the past. Like same products that exist elsewhere, but they don't work the way they can work in Web 4. That's what we're doing there. The same is true about blockchain. Take my word for it. When we announce Mainnet and how it is going to be arranged, the world is going to be shocked. Will create a lot of noise by really implementing what we expected and how it is going to work in Web 4 direction. We're doing a lot of work packaging the whole blockchain. We started this work, and on the road to this, we encounter all sorts of objections, questions from big funds, investors, or projects, and we try to hone their appetites. The same questions we get from exchanges. So a lot of work is done. We work with uh, basic actors, exchanges, influencers, advisors to take on board very good advisors who would work for us in our name. That's the kind of work we do. But most importantly, we realize that to approach exchanges, to be listed there and to launch Mainnet, we still need to prepare a better package. It is an important element that you need to show understanding to. We have entered the stage of the final testing before the testnet. Our fine-tuning of the consensus has taken a bit longer than originally expected related to DexNodes because everything else is more or less standard and routine. From day one, we could have deployed it like it works in other places, but what we are developing is totally unique. That's why the final finishing point is very close. It's already visible. And ever since then, we're going to make step-by-step announcements. Now, we're conducting rounds. We have a pre-sale round, which is organized, what I can say from my side. This round is going to be the last one that you can do with USDT. You can buy coins for USDT or at the price point that you can see at the launch pad. That's the last chance for you because later on it's going to work differently. And these coins are going to be traded differently through a third round. We'll make this announcement later on because we're preparing this announcement. We're also preparing a big AMA session, but it's going to be done differently and you will see it. I guess we can already make an announcement and say that the launch of Mainnet and the listing of coin is shifted to the third quarter. We have 1 month left to the third quarter. That's why the listing in Mainnet is going to be shifted to the third quarter. Why? Alexey can explain some technicalities here. Why, in terms of the promotion and packaging, we want to approach exchanges and foundations when they would find some faults with us. Like here, it is not perfect. We want to show them a perfect, unique thing. We did a test net, and this test net is no longer relevant. Now we need to do a new test net. We'll do it, and you will see all the results. It will be done in real time, and we'll make it open and public. That's why stand ready that mainnet will start in the third quarter together with the listing. Second important thing, we have received the feedback and we don't want to deny it and want to listen to it and take it on board because summer is the down season to start any listings or projects or blockchains. But you should be totally misunderstanding the market to enter the market there. So we take it as a very good prep time. And in the third quarter, we'll announce the exact date when the test net is going to be launched. We'll do all the tests. We'll have metrics and whatever is required. And that moment in time, we'll announce the launch of the third round and how mainnet is going to be launched. So it's going to happen pretty soon. Now I'm not ready to reveal exact dates, but it's good because based on how we communicate and trust me in chats, a lot of people know already what's going on there. Just 1 or 2 months after from now, people will tell you that they know everything about this blockchain. They've heard about this from hearsay. There are hundreds of negotiations with different guys, foundations, and funds and that delivers good results with a launch pad. We'll just make an official announcement later. I don't want to unload all the information to you at one fell swoop. Gradually, we'll reveal all that information that we'll prepare. And it is very good motivation for us, once again, to package our offer very well to the final testnet with the validators and others, and then announce the launch of the listing, launch of the mainnet, and so on. So this is the thing I wanted to share with you. Alexey, please pitch in if you have something to add, and we'll move on. There's nothing to add here. Everything was clear and to the point. Two things. We need to technically finish all the tests and trials. For that, we need some more time. Second thing is related to the summertime. When we talk to crypto influencers, all of them unanimously told us that never launch it in summer because it's a bad story for blockchains. It's better to start it as of the beginning of the financial year, when it's September. That's when crypto influencers start doing business. So that's why we decided to do it after summer. Another thing to note, to bring us all back to what we said in the beginning, it's important to understand that here we are doing it for the benefit of our community. Now, while big giants and funds start to pitch in really when they will not simply come in to buy a few coins, they will start to invest. All those people will come in to us. And now we provide this opportunity to people while we still don't have this giant whales. What we have to offer on pre-sale, you have a unique opportunity to become part of this pre-sale and buy some coins. Next, when we are totally packaged and we'll release it to the market, it will be a totally different story. Because a lot of work has already been done, and we have such great advisors and experts, and they have other serious, very serious cases behind their belt when they close deals with large funds and foundations, big collaborations. They were saying you just need to do this, this, and that. If you do these things, we can approach those big funds and they will invest into you. And you will see how it will unfold. We want to do it by the book, basically, to scale it up to really big scale. When I'm talking about funds, it's a really big scale. It's a totally different league. It's not like investing $100,000. I hope it's more or less understandable. Gradually, we'll be releasing some more news and announcements. We'll be telling you about that. Just keep an eye on our official channels and the X1 Eco Chain. Everything will be posted there on what is happening, at what stage we are. Igor, I'm sorry for interrupting. One small addition to what you said. Guys, can you click on the plus signs if you remember the AMA session where Igor invited Vladimir, and Vladimir showed some basic knowledge. Igor is trying to be very careful without naming names, without naming companies, by delivering some values instead of names. But Vladimir simply came in and openly named all the exchanges and guys who we are negotiating with. On the one thing, it was quite powerful and strong. So I would ask plus signs from those people who have been to that interview, and those people might have a general understanding what Igor was talking about now. Yes, I see a lot of plus signs here. Thank you. Also, we have questions like what will be the exchange names and where coin is going to be listed. Guys, I told you before, I repeat it once again. We're considering now top 10 existing exchanges. Enter coin market cap, select exchanges, and the top 10 exchanges you see there out of this top 10 exchanges will be there, will be listed there. Which one exactly, we're not prepared to tell you now. First, we want to make it happen, then announce it. Nobody makes an announcement before the final negotiations are over. I can tell you for sure that now we are in active negotiations with 3 out of this top 10 best top tier exchanges. 3 out of 10. I'm not going to name names, but about 75% I'm sure that we have reached a deal with them. We're just doing some due diligence. We'll finalize the testnet and metrics. They just asked for this, and this thing. And we're preparing it for them. And then we'll get back to them. And we'll start preparing for the listing. But it's going to be huge. Our task with DexNet token was to list it and to have liquidity on the market. We did it. We were not focused on choosing the best available exchange. But with coin, it's going to be a different story. But behind coin will come token as well. Remember this. If coin will start developing well together with the blockchain, then token will join them right away, for sure. And those crypto enthusiasts understand this as well. And they start looking at, paying attention. And at all meetings, whenever I hear about the full ecosystem and the available tokens, they show a smirk saying that I want to buy it up. But they're showing a smirk and they're telling it as a joke, but in fact they will do exactly that. They're going to buy up our digital assets. They will buy it for their portfolio and see how it's going to grow. And you will see it yourself. You will feel it. That is why it is important to understand, and you should know such things. I mentioned it about listing. Trust me, the level of exchanges will be very serious. Now, what else can we say? We have keys. We have to say something about the keys. That's the question for you, right? Yes, about the keys. Yes, we have a news about the keys, guys. I have to explain what keys we are talking about here. Yes, I will explain. Guys, as for DexPN, now we're doing a lot of work on DexPN. We're preparing updates, big updates. What is happening with DexPN? We have released DexPN as MVP, minimal valuable product. The product that our community can already test by providing us with some feedback. And based on your feedback, we'll be able to prepare it to make it what the market wants and not what I or Igor or our team wants. So for DexPN, we're preparing a big update. What has already happened? What is already available for DexPN? First, every key per DexNode. Initially, when we were talking about DexPN, we were saying that it is the free of charge key is going to be credited to each DEX node. But the functionality was rolled out only today. So if you own a number of DEX nodes, you will have a number of keys available for DexPN. What we're testing now already, but we haven't rolled it out in today's update, is that per one key, you will be able to connect up to 3 devices. You'll be able to connect your smartphone, your laptop, maybe tablet PC. Please provide your feedback, those people who liked this little bit of news that I've just shared. Yes, I see plus signs, fire signs, tens. Very good. Some people even wrote yoo-hoo. Very good. We're still working on DexPN. We're improving its performance. You need to understand that it's somewhat different from a conventional definition of virtual private network. It's something different, although it has very similarities, but it is safer, more safe and more secure. One piece of advice for me, if at a certain moment in time you realize that traffic through DexPN is a bit slower than without it, simply reboot it, switch it off, and then reboot it again. And it's going to be speedy again. Ijan is writing to me. I own 14 DEX nodes. It means, Ijan, that you will have 14 keys. And with time, you'll have 3 devices that you will be able to connect for each key. If there are 3 back offices, can I connect my family members to DexPN? Of course, that's the whole idea of decentralization. We don't know who you connect your DexPN to which device. We have no access to such information. So if you connect your family members or your neighbors, we will not know about this. We'll just understand that the key has been activated. That's it. There can be no repeated activations for that key. Countries are falling back. Only France and Finland are working. Yes, there is such a thing, Andre. In fact, I was writing this post once. If I could tell and reveal everything live, the whole information that I'm privy to, those people who drink alcohol will go and start drinking heavy alcohol. Those people who don't drink would be sitting in stupor, thinking how to live with all this. The fact that some countries are disconnecting, the fact that there are internet blackouts in other countries. I was writing about this like a year and a half ago, in full realization what is awaiting us in the coming few years in our unstable world. I was making a joke when I said, remember in the beginning, the whole world is coming down the drain. And there was an idea to develop the company DexNet as an alternative, as a saving grace. And those people who will be able to be on board of that, to come aboard our company, will be saved. But the main idea is what Viktor Myslinsky is writing, the right things here. Yes, the idea is that, of course, there will be internet breakages. Look what is happening in different countries. To switch off internet in one region or the whole country is not a problem anymore. And these experiments are done now. They look at the reaction of people. They look at how people react to this power blackouts in different countries. First, they start the information, there is some emergency or some sunspots, or we are not going to reveal the real reason behind this blackout. And that's happening in many, many countries of the world now. So we have the best out of what is available to us. And fortunately or unfortunately, I think fortunately, because otherwise we would be just passively observing how internet is blocked in different countries. So we are moving forward with this. Yes, some countries are disconnecting. It's happening also with DexNode sometimes, quite often. Like just recently, we lost 150 DexNodes in the net because one of the countries updated their firewall, and they update it every week. But DexNodes find a solution for that. Within 1 hour, DexNodes found each other. They connected to each other and it was okay. So we are training each other here. The fact that the internet goes down in some countries makes us stronger. It makes us more able to circumnavigate these problems. Additional thing I can add here, yes, we're in negotiations with, it's just an example because more recently, I haven't had so many negotiations in my whole life, although I've been negotiating my whole life. But in the past few months, the intensity of negotiations is unbelievable. We have a couple of people who came to the office. They cannot even leave or talk to me for 5 minutes because I'm busy negotiating with investors. So whenever I communicate with people, most of the people who talk to me, I guess many people who connected to this call today realize that the next trend that the whole world can expect that people are talking about is AI, artificial intelligence. People are talking, crying about this. People are worshiping AI already, thinking that's super cool, that's going to make life simpler for all of us until a certain moment in time. Then it can turn around. But the idea is that we're all okay about AI, but there is a flip side to that coin. And another trend that we keep talking about, I remember I discussed it with Alexey, and there is such an idea or opinion shared by the two of us that the next decade is going to be dominated by two trends. First, AI, that we see how it is conquering the world, and the second trend is decentralization. And we are talking about this not because we focus on decentralization, but it will come sooner or later. Each one of you, how many of us are here? Like more than 500 people. Each one of us who are watching us can confirm that people get tired of the fact that we cannot have confidentiality or privacy, or at least one place where we can hide, put up there, save it there, store it there. Oh. So people's anger has peaked already when decentralization will finally come. It can come through us or through some other company, but it will come to the world. And we find ourselves in this environment. We find ourselves in the decentralization requirement, and we're going to deliver it, and we're going to scale it up. We're going to scale it up at a very high level, so many people are prepared to move in that direction in full realization that people need it. That's why here we do and work with what we work on. And you need to understand that when a person chooses what they like, where to grow, where to build their career, we find ourselves very trendy, super trendy. And the coming few years will prove our standing. It will be going out into the world and people will understand it better and better. Like after Apple emergence or the first PC appeared, when internet appeared in the world, it just came out of the blue. People couldn't even think about existence of such a network. Now people cannot imagine their lives without internet. People cannot imagine their lives without their smartphones. The same will happen with the decentralization. To a certain extent, the same will happen to AI. Already, people wake up and go to bed with GPT, Chat GPT. So we find ourselves in the right place, and with our blockchain, we have entered the world or the environment where people make trillions of capitalization in that market. And together with decentralization, it makes this instrument's even stronger. And we are starting our big journey, which will take dozens of years, I guess, because we have the whole work cut out for us. We'll look at our next 2, 3, 4 years. We understand that it's only one small fraction of all the tasks we need to perform. But a year and a half has have flown by since the launch of the company. Time does fly, and we have a lot of plans, and we move about implementing them. Each one of you become part of that history. Maybe you will tell your grandchildren one day that you were at the beginning of this company when Alexey started to talk about the device when it didn't really exist. The whole story will come to realization because we cannot do otherwise. And we are where we are, and we can already see the results. If there were no results, people could try to argue with us, but the result is there. You can touch it, feel it, and appreciate it. Okay, this is what in principle we wanted to tell you about today. We have another promo. We have a promo that we have already announced. I will remind you of that. Let's try to use this opportunity to the maximum because this is the period when we have to focus on our services so that later, after August 31st, from the reward pool, certain number of tokens will be disseminated, and the price of the token will change for sure at that moment in time. So everything is moving according to the plan. We're not changing anything. We'll just shift some deadlines with proper explanations and understanding with the specific fact why we're doing so, because there are some things and enter the market at the right moment of time. This is it. Is there anything else to discuss? If there are some questions, we can take them. We have about 10-15 minutes to answer your questions, and then we'll wrap it up. I will add one thing to what you said, Igor, about AI. You need to realize that Igor and I are not really against AI, although to a certain extent I am against it. We are against the AI which is developing in uncontrolled environment. AI which is under full control of a man. I'm totally okay with that. It really can be helpful. But uncontrolled AI, it's a terrible thing. You can ask John Connor about this because he's the person who knows a lot about this. Those people who understand this joke, click on the plus sign. Those who didn't, you can Google for John Connor and why that person doesn't like AI. But all jokes aside, in fact, you don't understand how many attempts, and I'm not exaggerating, I'm not joking, I'm not trying to horrify you. I'm telling you about the real things. You cannot even imagine how many attempts and what attempts were made by AI to find their warm place in our DexNet. Tamara, if you are with us at this webinar, please write back to us in the chat. These are all very interesting things. Sometimes we can be really scared by that, but there is no place for it in DexNet. We will be using it in different products and different services. Only as an additional instrument, it can deliver good analytics, good feedback, good tips or advice as an analytical tool to collect analytics, data, and so on. It's quite viable to be used like that, and we'll do that because it works. But the uncontrolled AI, no. And when I explain it to people, they keep asking, why not? Why not? It's trendy. Okay, it's trendy. In 4 or 5 years from now, you're not going to say the same thing. You will say that it's trend, but it's not really good trend. So people will be saying that it would be better to live without this trend. First, it sounds like a fairy tale, all flowery and beautiful, but then those flowers might wither down and die and turn into prickly flowers. Some people can think we are crazy after listening to this AMA session. Oh, they will understand what we imply here. I guess many people understand what we're talking about here. Anyway, we are choosing our journey here, and I agree that some people understand. I see it by your comments that many people understand. I see Pavel Vavrik is writing very good comment saying that people don't understand these 4 letters and how horrifying they can be. Of course, we understand, says Victoria. We understand all of it. We fully support you. Yes, people understand. There are things that you cannot publicly reveal, but you need to understand it. Okay, guys, let's finalize it. What do you think, Igor? Yeah, I have one question. Let's take one question. Hello, I bought 3 NFTs for 300 USDT and 3 allocations for 1500 USDT. One allocation closed down for the free of charge NFT. Bonus coins for the first round haven't been credited to my back office. Please write to the tech support. Share the address of your wallet and will be rectified. We kept saying this, that after the closure of the round, we're going to rectify it. You're the only one left, I guess. There was another application like yours. Arman, you can write to the tech support and they will help you with that. No problem. Okay? Then I guess we are having short and sweet AMA session with the news and updates today. I suggest let's make this summer even hotter together. Let's move towards our goals. Let's achieve them and scale up our business. I wish everybody all the best. Thank you for this AMA session. We are going to have a separate AMA session about blockchain and our coin. We try to capture everything in a single broadcast, but if we try to tell you about all the products, it will take forever. That's why at subsequent AMA sessions, we're going to talk about blockchain, separately about coin and everything happening there. Okay, thank you, everyone. I thank our team for helping us with this broadcast. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Igor. Thank you, our team. I thank our community. We wouldn't be able to do it without you. Thank you. And I thank our interpreter, Nikolai, for helping us communicate with our English speakers. Hugs and kisses. Bye-bye.